searching for James Collins.
Let's talk a little bit about the movie we're going to talk about today. The movie we're talking about today is In a Violent Nature, directed by Chris Nash. A 2024 Canadian slasher film written and directed by Chris Nash. It recently, I think yesterday was like the last day of its short theatrical run.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
no one saw it.
Yeah. And it's going to be on Shudder. We don't have an exact release date, but like a lot of people are thinking the end of June.
I love the horror genre being deconstructed. And so one of the positive things I'll say about this movie is you could put it onto a DVD 3-pack with Cabin in the Woods and Scream. And as fun as the slasher genre is, kind of unpacking the slasher genre is a little bit more fun.
Yeah, the meta slasher universe.
Yeah.
Definitely. I can see it definitely falling into those realms. It definitely like...
This movie expects you to have seen a lot of these movies already.
Yeah, it's true. You couldn't go into this movie not like have at least knowing anything about them. I had seen the trailer, and I did like read some reviews, but I guess I didn't know. I mean, I guess I knew the concept as far as like I knew that it was going to be like oh, it's a slasher movie from the perspective of the killer. Yeah, like that's really all. And I guess I didn't have an idea of how much they stuck to that bit.
Yeah, honestly, it's a standard ass slasher movie, and the only change is the way it's shot and the way it's presented. Everything else is pretty much exactly the same as what you'd expect.
All the dialogue, like all the structure, with like what the characters are doing, like which characters die, like all that.
Well, because you see so little of it, it has to be so powerfully cliche that even if the audio is kind of muted, you know the conversation that's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Because like we see what little snippets, because a lot of the time, when you think about it, Jason's spending his time walking through the woods trying to get to the next place, or like hiding. So like, the few scenes that we get with the actual protagonist characters, they need to be like completely on the nose, like you said.
We need to understand exactly what's going on with it.
Yeah.
It's funny enough. We were at Walmart earlier today, and I got the Friday the 13th movie box set because this movie makes me want to go back and watch them.
Yeah, Friday the 13th is probably the closest analog to an existing franchise this movie has.
100%.
I think that they could sue if they wanted to. I wouldn't be in support of it, but whoever owns the rights to Jason could probably sue if they really wanted to.
It feels to me like they were like, let's do our best to try to make a Friday the 13th movie, and if we can't get the rights, we're just going to do it anyway and just call him Johnny instead of Jason. Fuck you.
I've written the script for a Friday the 13th movie, and if they won't approve us, I'm just going to change the hockey mask out for a fireman mask.
Yeah, it's literally, honestly, just a few minor changes, and this is just a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah, no, definitely a good experiment. Like I said,
it's worth a watch.
It tickled all my horror movie nerd buttons, but I definitely understand people who aren't going to like it. At the very least, I thought it was an interesting experiment.
Yeah. No,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I'm glad that they made it. I really am. I'm glad that I watched it. It's good to have a movie that you can say this much about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw it a week ago, and I still think about it. And
that's the best kind of movie for me.
Stuff I would have done differently, but also stuff that I completely agreed with and saw eye to eye with.
Yeah.
The police are searching for James Collins.